president lifted those sanctions just to bring Iran to the negotiating table, and we've continually given away the best cards we hold. The best approach would be to walk away now, to reinstitute those suspended sanctions, and then to impose new sanctions, to get back to a position of strength so we can negotiate a better deal.
That does not appear to be the case right now. Republican Senator Tom Cotton with Megyn last night. After weeks of negotiations, the talks continue. But should the president call his team home? Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, Fox News strategic analyst, here to analyze that. Colonel, good morning to you and welcome back.
Good morning, Bill.
What would you have thought if the president said, all right, that's it, time's up, come on back?
Well, that's what you've got to do. Bill, what's so frustrating to so many of us is that the psychology of negotiating with Iran isn't that hard to understand. It's like negotiating the price of a car when you're buying a car. You got to be willing to walk out of the dealership. And if you do, the dealer is probably going to call you back with a better price.
Probably. But, you know, what do you think the American people...
If not, you buy a different car.
Well, yeah, you could do that too. How do you think the American people would have reacted? And still a chance they could do it today. But how do you think they would have reacted if the president said, I'm sorry, but, you know, we gave you time, we gave you a schedule, it did not happen, so we're coming on back to Washington?
I think it would have been a bracing reassurance, because everybody that I know feels Democrat and Republican feel have been pushovers on this, absolutely strategic round heels. And it's important to look at this objectively. And apart from the fact that it's symbolically appropriate that we extended the hard deadline into April Fool's Day. Remember, this was supposed to be a fixed deadline for a deal. Instead, we're now reduced to trying to get some loosey-goosey framework, and the talks are going to go on until June. And Iran has played us brilliantly. So I ask people, you know, who are supporters of Obama's position on this and carry, name one thing, one benefit the United States has gotten from these protracted, excruciating negotiations with Iran. There isn't a single advantage we've gained. However, Iran has gotten partial sanctions relief, over $12 billion freed up. They've gotten time, they've won time to continue their clandestine development program, and above all, they've gotten the President of the United States to look away as they rampaged in Iraq, in Syria, in Yemen, backing Hezbollah, backing Hamas, backing terrorism, and we have done nothing because our President and the woefully inept and pompous Secretary of State, John Kerry, are obsessed with this historic deal with Iran, which, you know what? It ain't going to happen.
That may or may not happen. Colonel, apparently last night the White House sent out this picture too, the president talking with his team by way of video conference from the White House. We now know that Russia and China and France, their leading ministers, have left Switzerland. They've got some others who have stuck around behind, but you have to answer the question why we're still there. And it could be, Colonel, I mean, just to be fair here, it could be that they're making progress. Do you believe that?
No. I mean, the Iranians may ultimately give us, agree to some, again, loosey-goosey statement with no specifics, just to keep the talks rolling on. And my God, it would be so bracing, again, if Kerry would at some point say, no, we can't do that, we're going to walk away. And I have to say, to give the Obama administration credit, in the last 48 hours, there's been a tonal shift. They're starting to say, well, maybe, hinting they might walk away. And also, what really matters, the key signal here, that Obama's having doubts about his ability to win Iran over as an ally.
Why do you say that, Colonel? That would be significant, certainly. Why?
Well, I say that because yesterday he lifted the suspension of arms on Egypt. That's very, very important. He was so angry about the fall of the Muslim Brotherhood Morsi government in Egypt that we had basically cut our military ties, most of them, with Egypt. Yesterday we released, I think, 16 F-16 or a dozen F-16s, I'm not sure the exact number, 120 M1 tank kits, more funding's coming down the road in future fiscal years. So it tells me that Obama, who's been so strategically promiscuous, trying to romance Putin, to romance the Arab world with his Cairo speech and his obeisances to the King of Saudi Arabia. Then that didn't work out. Iraq falls apart, so he reaches out to Iran and the Shia. Maybe he is starting to realize that our traditional allies are valuable.
Well, we'll see if that's the case. Colonel, thank you. Ralph Peters,
Thank
with
you.
us from Washington, afternoon time, right now in Switzerland. We'll see if it extends yet again. Thank you, Colonel. We'll talk again soon. 20 minutes now past the hour.